This is just in case you don't know. This is just in case you don't know how the banks are taking advantage of you. This is how they're taking advantage of you. I want to show you something. I want to share with you my screen, and it's going to make you want to scream. We just helped out another one of our subscribers here, and you could tell that they need help. Listen, we all need help, every one of us. Okay, but let me show you what I'm talking about when I say how banks take advantage of us. When I say that, this is what I'm talking about. This is a perfect example. I'm going to share my screen right now. And I want to hear your thoughts. I really do, because this was something I wasn't ready for. I wasn't ready for this. But the level of nefariousness. You want to talk about conspiracy? My goodness. I want to share with you something. Um, and I don't mind sharing my email. That's my email, my phone number there. It's actually gotten to the point where that's going to be a necessity. Do you see, and let me just go ahead and blow it up here. I want to blow this up more. Do you see, can you guys see that? Can you see that? All right, do you see this? You see this, right? So the person, this particular person does not have any mortgage. They do have loans, 8 loans, credit cards, 5. Okay. We see all of that, but I want to draw your attention to this right here. And you guys may have something similar. You may have something similar, but I want to draw your attention to the numbers here. Okay. Look at the bank's plan for this person. Look at this one, and then look how much they could be saving. But what's the real kicker here? Well, the real kicker here, because you guys see this, okay? You see the total interest payments. You see the total interest payments. But the real kicker on this was the projected payoff. Why in the world do they have this person paying $11,275 off in 10.3 years? Why? They're making about the national average each month. But why is it taking 10.3 years? Why is the bank saying, you know what, we want this person to pay 123 payments instead of 13 payments? Why? Why that big of a difference? Look at how much total interest this person is saving. The bank's plan said, listen, I want you to give us as much money as possible, $6,279. But the question is, why why am I paying that much when I could only be paying $1,685? Why would I pay 6,279? Why couldn't it be like 3,000, maybe like 2,000, 6,207? Well, CJ, they got to factor in for inflation. You've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. And so this person is thinking there's no way I can get out of all these payments. I'm stuck for 10 years. So let's say they're 30. I'm stuck until I'm 40, you know? What if what if this person wanted a family? What if they wanted kids? What do you know what I'm saying? So what are your thoughts on that, guys? What are your thoughts on that? So this is what we did. All right. We went ahead and fixed the whole situation. And I'll share with you a little bit about what we did about this travesty, okay, about this debacle that the banks want to put this person in. Look at how much, check this out. Look at how much wealth accumulation the banks want you to do. Look at this, zero. And that's the case on every scenario. They don't want you to have any wealth. Any wealth that you are getting, they want to get. Okay. That's part of the idea behind the mortgages, the death pledges. That's what mortgage stands for. Death pledge. That's why it's for 30 years. Now they even got one for 40 years. I'm predicting they're going to make one for 50 years. And they're going to try to make one for infinity years so that you just subscribe, right? They're already doing that to some of the cars. They're taking out the monthly payments and they're saying, hey, it's a subscription service. You know what I'm saying? Look at how much the bank wants her to have. We're talking about $0 after the 10 years. Okay. And look at how much with the money she already has. We're not talking about her getting a second job. We're not talking about her going out and trimming all these expenses. No, no, no. With the money she already has, we're just allocating it a different way. And I'm going to show you that in just a little bit. But at the end of the same amount of time that the bank wants her out, we gave her a plan, $233,189 we're going to give you. Not that you're going to give to the bank. We're going to give you that. Because what we do is we take that 9.2 years saved and then we start building that wealth. And this is just with a 1% savings account. Now, you guys know how I feel about savings accounts, but I am for you making your money go to work for you. Okay. So let's go ahead and go down here, see how much you see how she's going to be out in 1.1 years. Okay. Versus 10.3 years. That's the projected payoff. Okay. And of course, she's going to be having the $233 and $188.84 versus, hey, congratulations, you finally paid off everything after 10.3 years. Now you're 40 years old, you finally paid off everything, but you still have zero because you gave it all to the bank, right? No, no, no. We took her off that plan. She now has over a quarter, or excuse me, close to a quarter of $1 million with the same amount of money that she's been making. The same amount of money. She didn't have to go out and get more at all. At all. So let's continue on here. I want to share with you something else, though. Okay. I want to share you how we did it because I think that's very important. And of course, we can do the same with you. It's no big deal. It's no big deal, guys. That's what we're here for. Let me share with you how we did it. Absolutely here. Then we're going to go here. Then we wanted to go ahead and make sure she had less than a year. So we put the numbers in there to reflect that. So now it's going to be less than a year. It's about what's today? Today is May 1st. May 1st. So what is that? Is that 4 months? About 4 months and 5 days. She'll be out of all that. 4 months and 5 days. We made sure because she was like, I need to know what dates I can do this. I was like, okay, here's how to do it. Here's how to do it. Do you see that? What are your questions? What are your questions on that? Okay, we see the credit cards. We see the $12,775 that she owes, right? We have the credit cards, we got the loans. Okay. We got all that there. We got her budget over here. Pretty good at the average discretionary, so that helps a lot, doesn't it? Notice the bigger the cash flow, okay, that $1,669.33 is helping her out a lot. But the bigger the cash flow, the faster the debt payoff, that debt elimination is going to be much faster. The more cash flow you have. Okay. And what is it about anyway? Okay. We see the monthly income, we see the expenses. It's all about knowing what to do with each dollar that comes in. That's what it's about. Okay. That's what it's about. It's not about anything else. It's about this right here. So let's go ahead and go through. You see the money that she gets from her business. The money that she gets from her business, where is that going? Okay. The system says it's going to loan two of $200. Then of the $200, it's going to loan three. Then $200 is going to loan four. Then $159 is going to loan five, but that's going to be on the 2nd of May. So all of this is the 2nd of May. She gets paid on the 1st. This is to be deployed on the 2nd. These blue numbers means that's what you pay towards, okay? And it'll even tell you your projected end of day balance. Okay, does that help? So that's what I mean when I say transfer. It's all about the transfer. Okay, do you remember that symbol? That's what it's about. We're transferring from the checking, okay, or paying from the checking to loan seven, okay, $188. Checking loan eight, $160. All right. Then after you do that, you just go ahead and say, yeah, I went ahead and executed that. Okay. We went ahead and executed that. Just let them know it was towards, let's say, education. Is that a good thing? And you can even go ahead and do some tax deductible or vacation. You can mark that if you'd like, right? You can definitely mark that if you want. You're definitely able to do that. So now today is the 1st. So if we want to go ahead and pay it earlier, we definitely can. So let's go ahead and mark that off, and then it goes away, right? So loan two is done for now, okay? And then you just do the same with loan three. Once the 2nd comes around, go ahead and empty it out. Boop, boop, execute, execute. Then they get the credit cards here. Now yours may be an auto loan. Yours may be a student loan, right? Yours may be a mortgage, 2 mortgages, 3 mortgages, up to 10 mortgages. However many car loans you have, it doesn't matter. We want you paid off. That's the system. The good thing about a machine is it is absolutely one mind. You know, what is this machine built to do? Is it built to eliminate debt? There's no emotion involved. This is how you do it. And that's how we're able, right, to get her out of that 10.3 years. That's torture. That's how we were able to get her out of that 10.3 years. Okay. And cut it down to 4 months and 5 days. Now you see this strategic transfer button right here. It's very important that you look at that. Suggested strategic accumulation transfer is what that is, okay? That's going to be on the 3rd, and we need to take the money that we have from our checking because the machine, remember, we input the number. So the machine says, you know what, you've got money inside of the checking. We're going to need that money deployed to your savings, $1,185.42. Okay. And then we have another transfer here of a particular amount on a particular day. So we got that time and we got that balance. It's very important to do that, because that money is going in to that savings account and it's letting you know how much you got in your savings right now, $2,572. But so can somebody tell me why? Why do we need to transfer from our checking to savings? What's going on? Oh, what's this? What's this? Well, there's a suggested strategic funds transfer to debt from our savings on June 14th to credit card number 3 of $419.37. Now, we've already paid the minimum monthly payment toward our credit card. You know that, $45. But this right here is called a what? Interest cancellation. Again, strategic funds transfer to debt. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. Okay. Then we hop down to July. Do we have any transfers taking place then? You betcha. Look at how many transfers this person is going to be making in July. That's a very powerful month for this person. Okay. They're going to be transferring from the checking to the savings, $1,485.05. Okay. They're going to be transferring from the savings to the credit card, $796.05. Boy, they got some. Now, down here, I want to make sure that you know about this. Why? Why, if we're already paying $188 to our loans, why would we need to make an extra $6.05 payment toward our loan on the 26th of July? I mean, why? Because banks count every penny. This machine is going to leverage every cent, and it's serious. Okay, so it counts it to the penny. $6.05 is going to help you pay all of this debt off. That's why it says $6.05, $6.05, $6.05, $42.23. You see, to some, it may sound like chump change, but because banks know money, right? That's why they say, you know what, this amount needs to go here from your savings account on the 26th. Do you see? Do you see that? But why, CJ? This is why, right here. September 6th, 2024, instead of September 6th, 2034. Does that make sense? It's 10 years difference. That's why. So she's going to be paid up, paid off in about 4 months. You are so welcome. Let me know if this helped you at all. Isn't that something? Because they don't want us earning interest. But you see, the more you know about interest, you'll be earning it, just like this individual is doing. They're earning it. Okay. But if you don't know interest, then you won't be earning it. You'll be paying it for 10.3 years. And then at the end of that 10.3 years, you'll be 40, 50, 60, 70 years old, and you won't have anything. You've given it all to the bank instead of being like this person, right? And have close to $250,000 in the bank with the same money. That's why it's so sad, right? That's why it's so sad. You're looking at the same money, but you've got your head down like this and you're wondering why in the world, and you don't even know you're cash flowing. Look at this. You don't even know the amount you're cash flowing positively. Well, CJ, I mean, it's easy to pay all that off when you have that cash flow. What if you didn't know your cash flow? What if you were so busy with your head down that all you were able to do is pay this bill and pay that bill and pay this bill and pay that bill? Okay, let's go ahead and make sure that instead of the 2,000, let's go ahead and increase her budget to 3,000. Okay. Now it's at $669. Well, is she in trouble? Can she not pay off her debts anymore because she doesn't have that massive balance? Well, let's see. The action plan has changed. Probably not going to be as many transfers, right? We still got a couple of transfers here. Okay. Still got one transfer here in June. Okay. Not as many transfers. Why? Because we increased that expenses. Do things happen? Do we need a dynamic system to help us comprehend where this money is supposed to go at certain dates, at certain times? Absolutely. Because we know we got to pay our bills, but we don't know how to pay them off in 5 months We know how to pay them off in 10 years. Why? Because the bank told us how to pay them off. Just pay the minimum, just save up on your cash flow. Listen, it's more than saving cash flow. It's creating the cash flow. This is how to do it. And you're actually seeing it. This is how we create cash flow, right? It's no big deal. It's not, look at this. This is how we create it right here. It's a dynamic system. Dynamic system. Now, look, you got negative 200. Now, this is negative 200 in the bank, guys. This is with negative 200 in the bank. What are you going to do, right? When you're faced with these situations, you really do have a $1,000 increase in monthly budget for maybe a couple or a few months. And you're thinking it's the end of the world. Well, according to the system, because it knows numbers, it's not. It's not at all. It doesn't even give you a pop-up. Because we do more than look at the bank account. We look at the overall picture and we say, don't worry about it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's not a red mark. Nothing to be worried about. Okay. That money's going to come in and this is where you'll put it. Right. That's $1,700 in July. Right. We're going to go ahead and switch it out. We're going to transfer it from the checking to the savings, $399.77. And then the next month, it'll do the same thing. And then the next month, the same thing, October, all the way until you are done paying for it. And then all of that cash flow comes to who? Comes to you where it should. Okay. So just so you know, guys, this is something that is definitely available here for you. But if we're looking at simply what's coming in and we don't have an overall picture and we don't have any forecast knowledge of where our funds are going, then that's why we are stuck many times in the situations. But you don't have to do that anymore. That's old. That's stuff that we had to do when there were no computers, right? Anybody remember the Commodore 64? Yeah, when you had to do the ledger. I remember those Adams book, right? You would write it down. Nothing against it, right? But it has it does have some shortcomings. It can't do this here, right? I need to know, where should I put this money? Where should I put the money that has come in so that I can get to this date, this debt-free date faster? So is it 10.3 years you want to pay off all the loans, or is it 5 months? That's something that is up to you. Folks, thank you so much for sharing this. Yeah. I mean, hey, Feather Pain, it's good seeing you. Yeah, hey, that's good. Feather, we definitely appreciate that. Feather, and I'm just going to go ahead and share that. I think that's an excellent idea. Let me go ahead and share it, please. I love your videos, she said. But I would strongly encourage people really work velocity banking on their own for at least 6 to 8 months before committing to buying the Money Max system. Folks, every one of us are professionals over here, and I think that is a beautiful, beautiful statement. Okay. Matter of fact, we just helped a lady not too long ago. Um, we wanted to make sure that she got it down. Okay. That's what we do. Big shout out to John. He wanted to make sure that he got it down. Okay. But once you get it down, right, then it's time to fly. Okay. And that's where it's at. One guy said he went from $250,000 in debt, and it's good debt, but he didn't know how to manage it, to $1 million, right? And so, in a very short period of time, I can't remember the months to be honest with you, but I do know that this is something that we're serious about. We have over $17 million of debt under management. That's me individually, right? Shout out to my team, but as a whole, the whole company has eliminated over $2.5 billion worth of debt. I think Rick could probably correct me on that. It's probably way more than that, but just being conservative. Yeah, that's a very, very strong statement, Feather Pain, and I really appreciate you for that. I would recommend the same thing. I would recommend the same thing. Because if you look at this individual right here, I want her to know, right? This individual to know that these are real numbers, guys. Okay. The October and the 5 months. But yeah, if you're not committed though to it, but this person was pretty committed. They were contacting us, texting us at night. Hey man, what you thinking? So those type of individuals we can commit to, right? Because they're serious. So if you commit, hey, we're committed as well. We want to see you out probably more than you want to get out, And so that's why we had to go ahead and share some of this. But if you know the velocity banking method, if you've been around it, then yeah, it's time to fly, especially now with all the hullabaloo that's going on. Okay, but these are the real numbers. We did go ahead and make it anonymous, but we just wanted to share with you how sad it is because the bank wanted this person out. And let's go ahead and share with you. They wanted this person out. Okay. In 10 years. Yeah, they wanted this person out in 10 years. And I just couldn't do that. I didn't want that. I didn't want that at all. Period. Okay. So let me go ahead and share with you. And because you're probably not gonna believe me. Here we go. 10 years. So what's better? What's better? 10 years? 10.3 years or 1.1 years. Of course, we're very conservative, right? So we had to say 1.1 years, not the 4 or the 5, okay, months. But once we put it in the system says, actually, it's way better than that, okay? And it is 4 months, 5 months, way better than 1.1 years, okay? And way better than 10.3 years. But this was the projected payoff for her. And this is actually not that bad. Let's say you're 30 years old, you'll be 40.3 years old. I've seen ones upwards to 50, yeah, 50 years. There was a gentleman on the 50-year plan. 50-year plan. I'm still sad over that one. And sometimes we don't get out of our own way, right? Because we were told to do something for so long that we started believing lies and we started believing that we couldn't get out of a certain situation. So that when something comes along that is quite unbelievable, okay, that is quite unbelievable, we're like, nah, it's too good to be true. Well, it is too good and it is true. It is true. I mean, you actually saw it with your eyes. That's how we do it. Okay. And I'm going to be sharing this because I don't think it's shared enough. People are still trying to do it the pen and paper route, and that's good. But you mean to tell me that you would know what to do with each one of these loans? You would know what to do with each one of these loans. You would know what to do with each one of these credit cards. You'd know what to do with it. Is that right? If so, that's great. Okay. You would know what to do when your check hit from your job, when your check hit your checking account. You would know what to do with the $1,700 down to the penny, down to the penny. By the way, remember she's got $3,000 in an itemized budget, so she's still going to be spending that. Okay. So just keep that in mind, that the system will know when you need to transfer strategically. This is beautiful. And once you're done, right, you're done with the month, it'll go ahead and start out with another 90-day plan. It's not there to confuse you. It's actually there to make sure that you get to this debt payoff date. It has one mind, and that is to get all of that debt paid off as quick as possible. And this is how you do it. All right. Folks, is there any Are there any, is there any, are there any questions? I love questions, but I know too that some of you are going to bed. I know you gotta wake up maybe in the morning, and I know you're probably watching dinner right now, but I just wanted to give you that tidbit. That's how the banks are taking advantage of ignorance. And that's what I meant, right, by the transfer. Better, Jesus, thank you so much, right? Tekla, Michael, Chris, thank you so much. Brian, thank you so much for tuning in. We want to make sure that you all are getting the debt eliminated as fast as possible. That's why we've been on these lives a lot lately. Okay, we want to make sure your questions are answered as well. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate. That is the email right there, creditwiz@investorpro.org. And also check the description link below as well. Go ahead and get the class. It comes with a free proposal, right? So please, please, please don't stay in debt longer than you have to, right? It'll bury you. I remember one guy back in 2005, man, we would hear him all the time in Spanaway, Washington. And he said, man, you got to get out of them arms before they bury you. And he said, because arms are the adjustable rate mortgages, he said, get out of them. And almost every day he was on the radio just saying that and saying that. And what happened? The Great Recession, man, he would say that, man, year in and year out, month in and month out, get out of them, get out of them, get out of them. And so, speaking of mortgages, why do you still have one? What about the first lien HELOC? Oh, I know that's another subject. That's another subject for another day. So let me go ahead and give you guys your time back. Thank you so much for tuning in. God bless, and we will see you soon.